It's time once again for everybody to come aboard that one and done train. Welcome to One and Done. Bienvenidos a todos a One and Done, your fast break of college basketball información. Coming to you live for this Saturday slate. We're going to win some money, hopefully, chasing some commas. And we're happy that you joined us for this DraftKings opportunity, as we will call it tonight, for sure. My name is Jay Heinrich. If you don't know, now you know. I'm the conductor of the aforementioned One and Done train, joined tonight by the man known around here known as, pardon me, had to clear my throat. Let me clear my throat. The captain of the One and Done ship, the OG Money Mike, Mr. Mike Collin. Mike, good to see you, man. Good to talk DFS. And before we even get into it, round of applause for Mike. 2K earlier in the week. Shout out to you, Mike.
Yeah,
how you feeling?
I feel good. I feel really good, right? It's nothing like a comma, a couple of commas, right? To I guess one comma technically, but a couple of racks to make the sky a little bit bluer, make the inflection of the voice a little bit stronger, So man, I'm excited. That just means I'm going to blow them all in these qualies. So this money will be gone pretty quickly. But no, it's been good, man. I'm excited. Obviously the slate, we're going to get paid out a little bit more on these slates just with NFL wrapping up. So yeah, happy to good to see the live chat, man, already just fired up about some college basketball information.
Everybody is excited to talk about this Saturday slate. Make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already, notification bells so you don't miss a single solitary minute of our college basketball coverage. We got our Sunday news and note shows. We got our DFS shows. We have live reactions to games instantly coming to you when the game ends and bringing you the heat. And then we got some Mountain West live streams coming your way as well. So push all those buttons and push the button to get into the MC Holland 34 invitation. I mean, the One and Done Invitational, number 15. We got nope, there it is right there, QR code, and the link is in the live chat, or it will be in shortly and then up on your screen. So make sure you get over to the $5 One and Done Invitational, hop in with your broskies, have a little bit of fun, win a little bit of money, show us how to do it. Right there, look at that right there on the screen. Boom, right there. Do the thing. All right.
Easy button.
Easy. Yeah. Boom. Do it. Mike, speaking of easy, I like how you give us these easy overviews at the start of these shows. Why don't you give us a quick overview of this slate?
Yeah. So, man, just diving into the slate, I've kind of been looking at it for a few days now. Usually these Thursday and Friday slates, it's like, oh, man, there's, obviously only a couple of marquee games. But, yeah, you're kind of getting a nice mix of everything here, right? You got solid tempos, you only got really one clunker at the end here that we'll talk about, but even some plays maybe we'll be mixing in that one as well. Value tough as usual this time of year. You're kind of just waiting on injuries, right? The DraftKings pricing is reflecting pretty well. Beginning of the year you find a lot of crazy value, so yeah, we're looking for maybe some injury spots, and then you got a lot of spend up shade that are kind of max price, and we're kind of missing the boozers, the bonces, right? Those guys that go into the 50+ range. So we'll be waiting on some of these. We always do these first looks. So obviously some things can kind of change as we roll into the morning. But as of right now, I think we have a lot of the information that we need, and I'm pretty pumped to dive into it.
Make sure you follow us at One and Done CVB over on X. Pardon me. I'm just a little worked up and excited to be here. We'll get that cleared up here as we move along, but push all those buttons if you haven't already for this slate for sure. Show your broskies in basketball some love. An 8-game slate tipping at noon Eastern, and you're in the right place to help you get this spread. So let's start with it, Mike. Arkansas and Mississippi State. Is this the highest total on the board? 161. Yes, it is. 161 implied points according to KenPom's metrics here. Arkansas, 83 of those, and Mississippi State, 78. It's going to get up and down, right? Arkansas top 30 in tempo, Mississippi State borderline top 100. We'll take it. We'll take it for sure. That equates to about 71 possessions-ish. That's really nice. We like that a lot. So a lot to like for sure. Let's start with the Arkansas side, Mike. 83 implied points. Like I said, Carter Knox listed as doubtful tonight as we record live on Friday night. condensed minutes possibly becoming even more condensed, question mark? Like
that.
sounding like it could happen, and we like that a lot for sure. Razorbacks should have a major advantage getting to the rim and should be able to get to the line as well against the Bulldogs. Loving the team total and the condensed minutes. Darius Acuff, 9,500, Mike. We're talking about spend ups. Who's going to be the guy that we want to really invest a large chunk of our salaries in? And Darius Acuff at 9,500 there, probably one of the best options on the slate to do that. Going to play max minutes, has the ball in his hands, feeling very confident. Probably, maybe I would say for me, probably the most confident of anybody that I would say I feel like I'm going to write in 40 and move on.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of these guards at the 9K mark that we're going to make decisions on. I think most people are going to go to Acuff, and then we're going to try something a little bit new. Usually we flash up the DraftKings stuff, Jay. Man, we're gonna go to some projections that I typically use that are matchup based, that we spend a lot of time on. Not offering them or anything like that right now. We kind of wanted to give you a taste of what's going on. So this will kind of show you what we're looking at here. When you look at the Arkansas side, obviously the projected total there of 83 points is really nice, and if we get a condensed minutes here with Knox being out, it's going to be really nice for us, man. So yeah, definitely Acuff's going to project really well here. We got Brazil, who I think is an awesome tournament play. The usage rate just hasn't really been there in conference play, 15%, but we know he can grab a lot of rebounds. We know he can be really efficient. He's been playing some minutes, man. So that's something that you like. And he's got a 6.5% stock rate, which is something that you really look for in tournaments where he can kind of drive up some stats here. So when you look at it matchup specific, our matchup based projections really like him here. I think if you're looking at someone like Malik Thomas, he's gonna need to make a lot of shots for him to pay off. So just kind of tough to pay for Malik Thomas at that 7,100 range, but he is a tourney option. Billy Richmond comes a lot more appealing because when Knox is out, right, he's gonna be in there to do a little more damage. He's kind of like Brazil though, like he's not. Malik Thomas and Darius Acuff are basically taking all the shots on this team. So those guys got to be really efficient when they're not, doing everything else with the shot. So, obviously with an 83 team total, you're going to have a lot of guys that project well here. I know Mick Pringle showing us popping off. That has more to do with the projection against Mississippi State. Malik Ewan too projected to have a nice game. So when you get this condensed rotation, man, all these guys are going to look nice in the 83 total, man. But I definitely want multiple pieces in this game. Really got to pick which one, Brazil or Acuff at the top. And then I don't mind mixing in. I'm not playing DJ Wagner. He just doesn't really do anything even at 3,500. There's just other spots we can look at here. But I definitely think Billy Richmond is someone that we could probably look at. And even a Malik Ewan, if he plays 20, 25, 26 minutes, I think he could be a really nice play here.
You're looking live at the one and done projections on your screen. If you're seeing those for the first time, it's because this is the first time that we put them on the screen, something that we've been working hard on behind the scenes here at One and Done, and we're happy to start sharing them with you. We'll see where it goes, use them as you please. We're still giving you the best plays right here on One and Done either way. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons as we move on to the Mississippi State side of this game. We play a large rotation, Mike, 78 implied points on this one. But it's hard to sort of pinpoint like, even though we're going to score almost 80 here, it's just, who do you trust, right? There's like one guy that I trust on this team, and it's Josh Hubbard, right? This is the worst offense in SEC play. They're getting pace up at home. We talked about that a little bit ago. Big time pace up for them, so that's good. And the home, like you want to get Josh Hubbard at home, right? You want to get the home game boost. Everything has to go right. Not necessarily cash, right? If you want to throw Josh Hubbard in the cash game anytime you see his name on a slate, I'm usually cool with that. But like this is the sort of thing where if you think this is the game where he puts the cape on his back and goes Superman mode at home, like I totally think that it's fine to drop him into a tourney as a safe play. He's going to be the one guy getting 30 to 32 minutes too, Mike, and that's the thing that we like. If you're going to pick the one guy on Mississippi State, it's Josh Hubbard. So, but again, probably just much more of a safer cash play that I definitely like. And we've seen him flash it, right? 39 fantasy points the last time out, but I don't like chasing that sort of and I'll put on a back-to-back night. The rates are there, man. So cash
Yeah.
game probably if you like them.
Yeah, it's just hard with the rest of this team, man. Like, even though they're in this awesome game environment, because we don't have anybody else projected over, 27 minutes, which is, I think we saw the chat. And Darren, of course, who's been calling out Jaden Epps since, man, way back in, I don't know,
Forever.
last May.
Yeah.
That he wasn't playing him, but he's been playable this year, man. And he's definitely a guy in tournaments that I will look at. He's coming off a 32. He can definitely reach into the 32 range. If this game stays close, it's going to be because either Hubbard or Epps are making a lot of shots. I know Ballard's popping on the projections. A lot of possessions here. There's going to be a lot of rebounds, some shot blocking opportunity. Obviously, that drives the value up on those guys. Him and Pringle are going to be guys that have really low floors for tournaments, but really high ceilings. So that median is going to be a little bit more different than we look at guys like, Jabari McGee, who's probably going to play at 24 minutes and get some shots and probably has more ways to get there, at least the median, than not. But yeah, I'm pretty much off on everyone else as Cam jumps in here saying free projections, goats. Appreciate that, Cam. Yeah, something new. Thought we'd toss it out there. Been working hard on it. Oh, we got you on mute, Jay.
It's been a long day, my friends. Thanks for the heads up there
That was a Charlie Puth song.
It's been a long day without you, my friend.
Dang, you didn't even put a quarter in the jukebox for that one.
Speaking of friends, Cam was being a friend right there in the chat. He knows the deal. Like, we're gonna give you what we've got right now on One and Done. This is what we do. We're giving you the best that we got. We're gonna win money. We want you to also. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want you to be on this ride with us, and all you got to do, hit that button and follow along. We're on our way to 11 gazillion fulfillion and 1 subscribers. So if you want to help us get to like 1750 tonight, that'd be great. Hit the button, all right? Or if you're watching Saturday morning with your cup of coffee, the best part of waking up is one and done in your cup. There we go. All right, 2 songs in 1 segue. I'm going to let this throat rest a little bit now as we move on along to this next game. Virginia Tech and NC State, 154 implied points on this one. Both above average tempo teams, expecting a solid 69 possessions about, in this one, according to the tempos and how all those numbers and, analytics and such pan out right there. We like 69 possessions for sure. Virginia Tech side, let's start with them. 72 implied points. Tyler Johnson, Mike, still out. And we have a good idea of these rotations. Opponent-wise, NC State pretty tough defensively, right? And the Hokies are on the road. If they can get some calls and get to the line, we like that a lot, especially with Amani Hansberry here. 7,700. This is the price dip. This is where I like a guy like Amani Hansberry. We're getting him. Where was he peaking at? 9K plus.
Like almost 10. He was 10. Yeah,
he was borderline 10K player right there for a while, and now we're looking at 7.7K. We love him for cash again because he rarely goes under 20. The tournament upside is there as well. Another player like Hubbard, right? I like Hansberry more in tournaments than Hubbard, but the same type of player, right? Just a safe cash guy. And if it falls his way, Hansberry is definitely a guy that can peak for you. And he's a solid play, man. Just straight solid play for Hansberry. You could do a lot worse on this slate for 7,700.
Yeah, and man, like for our projections, like I'm sure RotoWire is nowhere near this, but this is matchup specific. Like Toby Lawal is really popping off here, and I love him for tournaments, right? So like his ceiling in a tournament, 35, 38. But he's definitely got floor of 19 to 20. So he's got to be efficient with the shots. You're gonna hear that a lot with some of these tournament guys, right? But he has huge rebounding upside, 8.5% combined stock rate. So at 6,900, like Toby Lawal, really intriguing if this game stays close. You also have to look at Neil Avdilas. Like, yeah, I know. Like I say this every time they're on the slate. He's not fully healthy. But he still plays 30 minutes, Jay, and the usage rate is still 24%. If he stops turning it over and just can convert a few more shots like he did earlier in the season, obviously going to pay off 5,400. But, man, I like him for kind of both settings, even at this price tag, like 5,400, yeah, like he's probably going to get to 20 to 22, and then he has upside for 30-ish. So I'm looking at Lawal and Avalos as like a one-off spot. I don't mind a Hansberry either. If you want to just pluck one of these guys, because you don't want to dive too deep into a on-the-road 72 team total, but for their upsides, like they're decent plays. I'm not really on Hammond. He's too expensive. Bedford, too shot dependent for me. I know he blew up a couple of games ago, and he's been okay. I mean, he's been actually pretty solid. But for 5,100, like he's kind of in no man's land. And there's some other plays around there that I think I'd rather get to. And I'm not going to pay $300 less to play Bedford over Obdalus. Like there's just more outs with Obdalus in both cash and tourneys.
Bedford's, especially the past couple of weeks, has been playable. Again, very shot dependent, right? So we'll see if you're in that range, he can get you 20 fantasy points, 25 if everything goes right. But again, some other options we're going to chat about down the line here that we will get to for sure. Darren, listen, the singing that I'm putting out over these airwaves, the dulcet tones, man. Okay, like some prefer the mute, some prefer the singing, maybe more the mute. But either way, it's going to happen. Hey, they hate us because they ain't us, Cam. You know how that goes. All right, good stuff. Hey, that's all right. If you don't have haters, you ain't doing something right. You're not doing it right for sure. So, anyways, good stuff there. Darren, of course, is a ball knower. He's going to drop his knowledge in the chat, and we want you to do the same thing. So make sure you hop in the live chat. Let us know what you think about some of these plays. Abdullah at 5,400. Is that somebody that you're considering in tourneys? Let us know. Do you like Lawal as much as our projections do? Hop in there in the live chat and tell us. The other side of this game, Mike, NC State, 82 points implied. We have an idea of the direction that they go. Not the safest rotations, I guess I'd say, but what we do like is that they're the third best offensive efficiency during ACC play. So maybe have to be careful here because of the fact that the Hokies have been pretty solid defensively. Maybe this is one where you can look at this team total and be 82 it feels like a lot against this team, right? Even with NC State, right? Let's look at Kadir Copeland first, 8,400. He just had the 47.5 fantasy point game against SMU on the road here. We know his rates are great. Is there a time when he does not have the ball in his hands for this team? It feels like there just isn't, and that's one reason why
always has the ball.
He's so just like you turn on. If you look, you're watching an NC State game and you turn away, the likelihood of him having the ball in his hand when you turn back is 67.8%. Okay, it's not exact, but it's about that. Copeland's a solid play here. Do you want to play him at 8,400 though, Mike? Or
here we go.
Are we going to your boy here, Williams at 7,600? What's the play, man?
I think they're both good plays, man, and he's $800 cheaper. Like it's the Will Wade thing. So like if NC State scores 62 points tomorrow, then we know what was happening. Williams is standing in the corner. Kadir Copeland is spinning out of control in the lane. Vanilla Lubin's taking way too many shots. So yeah, we know the recipe because we've seen it multiple times, man. But yeah, both guys really solid for tournaments. I prefer Copeland obviously in cash. Williams though for tournaments. Yeah, I'd swarm off like Darren's talking about it. That was more out of frustration. You can never swear him off, even if he's at 8.5K. Like he's just so talented. I think obviously for cash, like you Trey Holloman, just 28, 29 minutes here, pretty much plug him in. Feel good about it. All these other guys, like Paul McNeil sometimes can play like 35 minutes and jack up a bunch of threes. So he's interesting for tournaments. I can't really get to anybody else, Jay. It really feels like you're picking between Copeland and Williams. Trey Holloman, just saying, yeah.
We've been asking that question the entire season. Why do you pay Darian Williams that kind of money to come to your campus if you're not going to just absolutely squeeze every bit of usage you can out of him? It doesn't make any sense, man. But at 7,600, definitely in the pool for sure. All right, hit those like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. A couple of games down in this one. Make sure you hit all those buttons, like, subscribe, notification bells. Do your part in the one and done universe. Show your broskies in basketball some love for sure. All right. Getting down here, a little bit of an uglier game between Syracuse and Virginia, 148 implied points. Syracuse is going to push the tempo against that slower Virginia squad. Remember when Virginia started playing fast for like 3/4 of a season at one time, and then like it was not even that long, and then here we go, slower than Christmas again, and that means that we're having even fewer projected possessions in this game than the other two that we've spoken about for sure. Let's look at Syracuse first. The orange men, whatever, they're orange. Okay. I think confusing is probably the best way that I'm going to describe their rotations. It's just not, I don't know. Some ain't stirring the Kool-Aid, man. You know what I mean? On the road against a top 3 ACC defensive efficiency team, very tough spot. You got anything here?
I mean, Donnie Freeman is interesting as a contrarian tournament, but paying $9K on the road, that's pretty terrifying. But he's got 40 upside. He came off the bench the game before, and it was a cool weird thing with Autry, and then he's back in the starting lineup at 8,200, and he smashes. So if we go through the well here at 8,900, we know exactly what's going to happen. Now he's just boom bust, man. Like 42 last game, 16 the game before that, 43, then 24, 25. Like it's definitely a boom bust turning option. Hard to like anything here, man. When you look at the matchup with Virginia in particular, all these guys getting minutes, man. I know Georgia Starling will touch 30, but they don't do enough in the peripheral department, as well as, George can get there with some assists, but he doesn't. There's not going to be any socks from either one of those guys. So yeah. It's pretty much a cross off for the most part on this side, unless you want to take some shots at Freeman in a tournament.
9K Freeman, basically. Like, dude, I'm not paying for that 42 fantasy points he just had. I'm not doing it. You can if you want to, and if you beat me, I'll shake your hand. That's fine. But that's a tough spot for me to want to pay that much money for Donnie Freeman. So, especially against Virginia, who's gonna try to just
muck the game,
death by 1,000 paper cuts of just constantly just messing with you and slowing things down. And yeah, man. Virginia on that side though, 80 implied points here. They played 9 guys, spread the minutes out a little bit. When it comes to their opponent on this one, Syracuse is sort of middle of the pack in ACC in terms of defensive efficiency. And what we're looking at here is a rebounding and inside scoring boost for Virginia, which includes our guy, Tez the Ritter here, 8,100. I would describe his price tag as annoying. I don't want to do it. But one of those guys that he can definitely go 4 or 5X. Do you want to gamble with him on this slate? I'm leaning more towards the no side, right? It's another situation, Mike. You just talked about guys not getting a lot of stocks. And if you could tell me that I'm getting that out of Tez the Ritter on this one, I might be a lot more willing to buy in here. Otherwise, he's going to have to shoot it lights out to get where he needs to be. I like the 80 implied points on the team total, Mike, but just in general, man, it just feels a lot harder to get to some of these guys on this side.
Yeah, it's annoying, man. Like, people have been playing Grunlow for forever, right? He's just going to split the 5 minutes. We say this every single time with Onyenso. Like, if you were to put those two guys together, like the projection would be, a 34-minute player. The projection would be really good, and that player would probably be, what do they equal? 97. It'd probably be 9,700. That player would be. So, yeah, Onyenso popping off a little bit. If you put him at 20, he gets down to 17, 18. Like, he's more of I wouldn't even say a floor type play. Just you're banking on some putbacks, some rebounds, a little bit of an advantage here. Obviously, you just talked about it when you look at the matchup. Our projections are based specifically on matchup. So, yeah, there is a rebounding and inside scoring boost, which is why you're going to see someone like Onyenso and his profile project a lot better. So I don't mind going there to him. It just feels kind of gross, man, when you click one of these Virginia guys because you're like, is anybody going to play 27 minutes? We don't have anybody projected to play over 27 minutes. So, yeah, it's just tough. Like, we find one and he gets there. Jakari White could be interesting if you told me that he would play 18 minutes here. He makes some shots maybe, but it's just, yeah. If you beat, like, it's like you said, Jay, if you beat me with one of these guys, like, okay, like, there's just better spots to attack.
I can't do White. And he'll probably make 4 threes or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, he'll just whatever. I can't do it. It's gonna be so hard for me to click any of these Virginia guys on this side. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to do it at all. Let us know. Are you gonna be able to go Oppo Taco here and play some Virginia guys? Because I don't feel like you are gonna have many people riding along with you. If you do, that's a good way to get different. You gotta get different sometimes to get a comma, right? And that, I mean, don't get too different. But like, I don't know, man. Maybe I can't. No, I can't even talk myself into it right now. I'm not doing it. Okay, good stuff. Hit those like and subscribe buttons. Show your broskies in basketball some love as we keep it rolling. Darren and Cam in the live chat definitely keeping things spicy as always. Who else was in there earlier? Oh yeah, Jake Kearney.
Jake Kearney. Yeah, I'd see him.
Yeah, hope
you're
you're
in the chat. Say
around.
what's up.
Say what's up, man. Hope to hear from you. And we got a little bit later of a start today than we anticipated. We hope you stuck around for the live show. And if not, let us know in the comments because we know you'll be watching in the morning so you can get this bread. All right, good stuff. Next game on this one, Louisville and Wake Forest. 158 implied points here. Both teams inside the top 100 in tempo. So definitely a nice game environment. Another game with 69 expected possessions here. Louisville's side implied for 82. Let's start with some injury updates here. Javon Hadley currently listed as questionable as we record with the back injury he suffered last game. Looking on the side of out, most likely. So not really going to have any plans to have him involved in anything that I'm doing. And even though there's 82 points here, man, 11 guys checked in an 11-point game last time out. Like, that makes me not happy at all. So I don't know, man. If you want to go inside here, Wake's giving up 57% from 2. I mean, that's something that we have to take into consideration here. Yeah, exactly. And and Louisville shoots 58% from 2. So I mean, there's opportunities in this game, right? This is a good game environment. Hadley out. Can you get to one of these? Hadley likely out, I should say, as we record. What are you going to do with these Louisville guys, Mike? Is Ryan Conwell in your plans? I mean, we look at it. When's the big game coming? When's the big game coming? He's 2 for 20 from 3 in his last 2 games. The projections on your screen right there showing that we really like him to have a bounce back game. Are you clicking Conwell, Mike, or anybody else? I know we're going to have some plays on this Louisville side, but how are we going to attack it?
Yeah, so Louisville's probably one of the most interesting spots on the slate because, you just mentioned it. Like, Conwell hasn't shot it well, but like, man, paying 8,600 for Conwell kind of sucks. But hopefully that gets people. And he's cheaper than like a lot of the 9K guys. We're going to talk about a bunch of 9K guards that are like, why is he 9K? Well, Conwell's cheaper than those guys. So definitely in the context of the slate, like, I think he's an awesome tournament play. Like the matchup, right? Like, he's a guy that can get to the bucket too. But if they're getting inside buckets, like, he's going to be able to get his outside shot and he's going to shoot it well at some point, right? So, our projections absolutely love him. The Hadley thing has more to do with Ghani Roots, right? Like, if he's out, a lot of people are going to go to him because he's had 34 and 31 fantasy points in the last couple of games. Rebounding rate near 40%. So, double upside if he can make some shots here. 7.5% combined stock rate for Connie Ruth. I put him at 25 minutes and he's just absolutely popping off across the board. So he's definitely but I'm afraid because if he's going to be super chalk, if Hadley's out, I kind of want less, half of what the field has of him. It's also tough because they're going to play. So they played 11. Hadley got hurt, so they're going to play 10, right? I don't play McNeely. Frew is too expensive because you've got Pryor and Khalifa both back. Somebody calling out Michael Brown as so if you're looking at matchups, like, Louisville doesn't have a guy that really beats up anybody inside. So they're not going to dump it down to anybody. It's going to be Conwell and it's going to be Michael Brown attacking the paint and getting easy buckets. We're setting up easy assists, which is why you see a big projection on Conwell. Michael Brown, it's more of the minutes, right? Like, if you project him at 20, 30, 29 versus a 32, 33, he's going to end up in that green tier as well. So both of those guys, I'm probably going to play a lot in tournaments because they're going to have big ceilings. They're going to be able to get downhill and be able to kind of do whatever they want. So yeah, I like both of those guys. Everybody else can kind of, except for Ruth, like you have to pay attention to them. So using a 2-1 stack with one of those guards with Ruth, if Hadley's out, if Hadley's in, we're still interesting. But I just see he could also go, for 16 fantasy points, and you're at. I'm expecting him to be pretty popular. If Hadley's out, 30% or so.
You said Ruth's, you think to be like 30% or so? Okay.
Yeah, if Hadley's
out. Yeah, that makes sense. That's still an if, right, as we record, but it sounds like it's leaning towards that way. But Mike gave you the info on what to do if he's playing and if he's not. So there you go, right there. Take down the notes right there. Let's look at the live chat before we get to the Wake side. Johnny K! Of course, Johnny K's here. The live chat, because the Johnnies pulled it off tonight.
Yeah, they did.
Against UConn, a 9-point win, 81-72. Good stuff, Johnny. Feeling yourself as you should. We're familiar with Dylan Mitchell around this area, very much so. And, we know what that guy's capable of. So good stuff there, Johnny K. Always good to see you in the live chat. Let's get to the Wake Forest side. Another injury update. Nate Calmese out. And the rotations are a little bit funky last game. So how are we going to do this, man? 3-point bonus on this side for the Fighting Tim Duncans. Louisville allowing 38% from 3. Juke Harris. Here we go. 10.4K Juke
Holy crap.
Harris. Yowza. Honestly, it doesn't even feel that far-fetched, right? Just get hot. He takes a ton of threes. Get hot, Juke. Do your thing, man. Like, this is still like 4.5x value sitting and staring us, even at this price, man. Like, I don't want to pay Cam Boozer levels for him at all. Like, not even a little bit, but pay out or spend ups, I should say, on this slate. Man, like, he can do it. Like, it's not even – it's almost too comfortable. That's how I feel about this. I'm almost too comfortable clicking a 10.4K Juke Harris. That worries me a little bit that I'm just sort of drawn to him there. But, man, he can pull it off for you.
Yeah, I'm okay. I just the context of the slate's a little tough, especially because, like, when you look at the rest of the guys, it's like, okay, if Juke is just kind of living in that 30 fantasy point range, we could be cooking with a couple of guys. And, I mean, the first guy we obviously got to mention, Calmese out, right? Sebastian Akins, Isaac Carr. Going to get some more run here. Akins, man, 26% assist rate. Is a guy that
And your boy was on mute, of course. We lost Mike there for a minute, but we'll get him back here in a second. Let's continue looking at this side. Oh, there he is, Mike. We lost you. And then I was on mute, and it was a whole lot of fun there for a minute. Yeah, we had it, but we're back on track now. What you got?
Okay, yeah, no. So I don't know where I left off, but
just start again. We talked about Juke Harris being really expensive, and then go ahead from there.
Yeah, Akins, just a cool value play, right? Should play 20 minutes or so, and it looks good in the spot. You've got Colvin, who I think is really good for cash at 6,400. Somebody said in the chat when we used to play Spillers, yeah, he just doesn't take a lot of shots. He's not really rebounding like he was. So I think he's kind of a cool tournament play. Cooper Schweiger getting the start now. He's 4,300. 15 fantasy points last game, 26 the game before that, 18 the game before that, 19, 4 out of 5. Like, yeah, you've got some. I'm probably coming in with a little more weight than I'm probably going to play one of Akins or Schweiger in all my tournament lineups, and then maybe even playing them with a Colvin or a Spillers. I don't know that I'm going to get to Juke, man, because I want one of these guards that I'm going to spend up on. So just kind of
that makes sense.
Man. There's some nice plays over here on the Wake side, though.
No doubt about it. Hit those like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. Live chat firing up. Our guy Forklift Jeremy hopping in. Always good to see the old Beat Duke hashtag in the live chat. Darren, why did Mike freeze up? He sometimes when you're that cold blooded, it just happens. And that's all there is to it, right? So make sure you show Mike some love in the live chat and by hitting the like and subscribe buttons, notification bells. Mike's coming off a 2K win earlier this week. Nice little GPP victory for our guy. And we're trying to do the same thing tomorrow, except, Mike, it's not 2K, right? It's 5K to first that we're rolling with
Yes.
on this Saturday slate kicking off at noon. So we're glad that you're here hanging out with us on One and Done. Technical difficulties or not, we're bringing the heat. So make sure you push all those buttons, and we're bringing it no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we're here, and that's what we do. Excellent stuff here. Let's move along here. What's the next game? Villanova and Georgetown. Not spending much time on this one at all. 139 implied points. A couple of teams slower than me when I pull a muscle in my back. Lowest total on the board, 66 expected possessions here. Georgetown's pretty solid defensively, man. Villanova favored in this one by 5, but only with a 72 implied total here. Let's start with the Caden Lewis. Not a lot to love in this game, but I think Lewis's floor is pretty solid. A little bit overpriced, like $500-$600 overpriced, right? But can you get excited about Lewis at all, Mike? Are you even playing him in cash games? And can you get excited about anything on this Villanova side?
I mean, it's hard to get excited on the Villanova side just because of their price tags, right? In an ugly game, and they're also on the road too. So we've got some interesting favorites on the road, which is never good in college basketball. That -5 can flip, can be over in the first 3 minutes of the game if Georgetown comes out with any energy, which I don't know that they will. I can't play Brennan's, Perkins, Lewis, like none of these, like this whole game. I mean, Lewis, like a solid floor. Caleb Williams, if he played 35 minutes, would have a solid floor on the Georgetown side, Jay. Hard to get excited, man.
Not going to talk about Devin Askew, who's on his 8th team, I think, that he's played for. Somebody else we're familiar with out around here in Central Texas, where we're located. All right, good stuff. Georgetown side, man. Vanilla Nova is what I was going to call them. It does feel like they are pretty vanilla at times, to be honest with you. Villanova eliminates the 3-point line, right? So don't expect a lot of threes from the Hoyas. One area to watch is the glass, where Villanova is actually a little susceptible there. So I don't know, man. Let's talk KJ Lewis, I guess. Another cool tournament option on this slate. He has to do everything for this team to be successful. Like he is the lifeblood. He is the pulse. He's the dude, right? He definitely has 40 fantasy points in his bag, but it's got to be super efficient in this environment, right? So probably one of those times where if you're in that 8K range for some guys that a lot of other people are in a little bit heavier, and then you're looking to pivot a little bit, KJ Lewis is somebody that just contrarian-wise you can probably put into your lineup once or twice if you have to, just to get a little bit different, because he's got that 40 in his bag, man.
Yeah, I don't mind him as a contrarian tournament option. Malik Mack, he'll play 30 minutes, but he's not going to win you a tournament. Caleb Williams play 35 minutes, probably won't win you a tournament at 5,700. Uchebu's interesting, right? Like, if Halafanua misses and we have him projected out right now, he couldn't even move when I had him in the quali on last Saturday. So I'd be shocked if he's out there just running around like nothing. But that forces Uchebu into 29 to 30 minutes. I project him here for 30. And he's got stock upside. There's a rebounding boost here in the matchup specifically. So I kind of like him for tournaments. But yeah, outside of that, man, it's either Lewis in the tournament, large field for 5K, Uchebu in the tournament, and I'm probably staying off Villanova in the rest of this game, man, because obviously we got a couple of better games coming up.
Yeah, no doubt. Before we get to those better games, hit the like and subscribe button. Show your broskies in basketball some love. Our guy Nate pushing the buttons tonight. What it do, baby? Shout out to Nate. Shout out to Eric the Blue, somewhere over the Atlantic Ocean, I think, right now, ish, probably. I'm sure he's watching
Maldives,
live.
Man, he was in Maldives.
The
London
Maldives?
to Maldives, yeah, the Maldives, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
That's living.
What a life. Appreciate that knowledge there. I didn't know our guy Eric was such a jet setter. That guy's all over the place, man. What a guy. Thanks for getting everything done, Eric. Thanks to Nate for pushing the buttons. Thanks to you for hanging out with us here on One and Done. push all those buttons as we move along now to Wisconsin and Indiana. Here's a game. Now here's a game.
Oh boy.
156 implied points here. Indiana 80, Wisconsin 76. So Indiana 4-point favorites according to KenPom's metrics in this one. And the Hoosiers are in a big pace-up spot at home. Big game for both teams' resumes. They're going to want to show up and show out. One of these teams is going to be a lot better off than the other when it's all said and done. Let's start with the Badgers, 76 implied points, like I said before. Rhodey questionable, expected to be available. So, Mike, I'll get you to chime in a little bit there on him as we move along, because I want to move right to Nick Boyd, our cover boy tonight. Another solid tourney spend up option. He should be able to get to the rim against this Indiana D, who has very little rim protection. And you like what Boyd can bring to the table in that regard. So I wish these Wisconsin studs were just a little bit cheaper, Mike, but again, he's definitely got to be in your player pool.
Yeah, he's got to be in the player pool. It's kind of the same with Blackwell and Winter. Like, the projections, don't love him on the road here. These guys score a lot of points, but like, where do they don't get any stocks for studs, which is really annoying. So like, Blackwell to get there needs rebounds, and a couple of steals at this 8,800 price tag. Winter needs a double, which he only has a 26% combined rebounding rate, which is really annoying. But he's super effective scoring the ball. This tough at 8,700. Like, if they were 7,700, 7,800, and Boyd was 8,000, it's just, they would be absolutely popping off, man. I don't wish for injury, but if Rhodey is out, I had Braden Carrington up in the 27 to 28 minute range. He was popping off as a sweet value. Brought him down a little bit to 24 minutes if Rhodey returns. If he ends up out, I'm probably putting him in most of my lineups. So he's been really good for them lately. 17, 16 fantasy points the last couple of games. Had a big 24. He scorched Minnesota in a revenge game not too long ago. So yeah, he's kind of one of those guys where it's like, oh man, like, he becomes so much of a better play. Maybe even still in play if Rhodey plays. We'll see. He's got short wrists. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But yeah, everything we're kind of reading tonight. A little tough to get this Indiana side's a little bit better here, Jay.
And yeah, definitely is for sure. Let's get to it. Their opponent, the Wisconsin Badgers, middle of the pack defensively in Big Ten play. So what can we get out of Indiana, Mike? I know that we're going to get a lot out of Lamar Wilkerson here. 9,300 on the price tag, wearing the chef's hat. Just do that GIF where the big old walk and you see the guy cooking and just throwing that stuff up in the air. That's Lamar Wilkerson, man. Love him to get going again. Should take a bunch of shots in this one. Really needs to tap into those stocks or peripherals, Mike. You talked about that earlier. These spend ups we want. Where are they going to come from? Where are those stocks going to come from these spend ups, man? If you think it's Wilkerson's day, 9,300, toss him in your player pool with the rest of the 9K guards that you like and put him in when you can. Because you know that he can get it done. Popped off for 50 on the last one. Before that, 39, 32, 38. You know where the floor is right now for him. And Indiana's going to have some opportunities in this one to get it done. So I like Wilkerson a little bit at that price tag. Do you like him, Mike? And what about the rest of this Hoosier side?
Yeah, I like Wilkerson. I'll go to him in a couple of tournaments here. He's one of the few guys that can get up to a mid 40, 50 fantasy point ceiling. DeVries, I'm going to try to get to a lot. Our projections love him here in this particular matchup. Please don't foul, but he can easily go 5x. He could easily go 6x, honestly, in an 80 team total here. This is a good spot, man. Like, if he just makes his shots, doesn't do anything silly, don't take any too many step back threes. But he's got rates across the board. He's got a little bit of stock upside. Yeah, he's probably the guy I'm looking at here on the Indiana side. I don't love everything else. Like Connor Enright over floor play. I hate when he's like 5K. Bailey, Alexis, they kind of split the minutes there. So kind of tough to kind of mess around with the rest of this here, Jay. So yeah, probably Wilkerson and a lot of DeVries as of right now for me. So where I'm
You
at.
know he can get going, man. The thing about him is he just doesn't have a conscience, and he's going to shoot the ball. He can get his shot whenever he wants it, and it's just a matter if he's hot and he goes unconscious, man. It's that 50 fantasy point ceiling right there at 7,300, and it's hard to not pay any attention to that. So, yeah, man, I like him a lot. Wilkerson's a good play, but again, you're looking at his teammate who's 2K cheaper, and the ceiling is right there.
Yeah,
Cam on board with what we're talking about
yeah.
as well. Um, Something you got to consider for sure. Good stuff. Like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. And we know that you have if you're hanging around this long up for sure. Surely you've pushed the buttons by now. You got the core four coming up too. The core four and more. You're going to get the safe J cash plays. You're going to get those. It's important to have those around sometimes. And then Mike's going to bring the heat with the tournament core four as well. A couple of ways to get your lineup started. So make sure you stick around to the end and always push the buttons as we move along to Missouri and South Carolina. 147 implied points in this one. Both teams around 225th in tempo. So, I mean, I just don't like these games where both teams sort of look like, oh, they could get to 70, mid 70s maybe, and you're probably not getting to 70 possessions. I don't know, man. Like it's a tough one, man. On the Missouri side, you kind of like what you're looking at if you're a Mizzou fan. On the other side, yeah, South Carolina, not the third worst, not the second worst. No, they have the worst defensive efficiency, worst defense in the SEC. So a big advantage inside for the Tigers here. South Carolina giving up 58% from two, giving up a lot of rebounds, allowing a 16% opponent shot block rate. Can we chase some stocks in this one? Maybe we will. And can we get any with Mark Mitchell here? Give you some positional flexibility at 8,200. An awesome play, all formats in this matchup for sure. If he rebounds at all,
at all,
like trip
get in
over
there and rebound.
Yeah, trip over 5 of them, friend. Like just do it. And we're like Smash City, okay? Got to click him in cash. This is one of those guys where floor-wise, you're not going to find a better floor at this price. Yeah, you probably won't find a better floor at this price in the entire slate. He gives you the positional flexibility in a cash lineup as well. So click him in cash. Consider him in your tournaments, Mike, because it's in his back pocket there that he can just absolutely smash if he gets a couple of boards.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like 36, 46, 32, and 3 of the last 5, like at 8,200. Love that. The rest of this Missouri side it's annoying, but we got a couple of guys here, man. So I think Trent Pierce, when I was on the stock thing, I was like, Trent Pierce is a guy that can rack up a couple of stocks. He's kind of an annoying guy to play because you're like, he's like that meme where like the guy's like with the stick, like poking. He's like, come on, do something.
Do something. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 17% usage rate, but a 5% combined stock rate. Just went off for 26. Maybe he's a little popular here. Guard forward eligibility, so you definitely love that. Anthony Robinson, man, like he projects well, but we know T.O. Barrett's kind of taking over the backcourt there. But T.O. Barrett at 7K, that's a tough click. Anthony Robinson, I think, is kind of a cool – like they're not going to be able to – can you get 23, 24? That would be nice. So I think Anthony Robinson kind of a cool tournament saver. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking at some of those guys. I don't play Jaden Stone. It's just if you beat me with Jaden Stone, like congrats, he made a lot of shots, and that's just how it went, man.
Darren was asking Mike. I don't know if you noticed. He asked, "Don't go chasing stocks." Is that a pop song by Left Eye? First of all, R.I.P. Left Eye. Shout out to you. Didn't she burn down Andre Rison's house? Anyways, that's not important. Let's move on to South Carolina. Here, 74 implied points. Missouri is solid defensively, man, but they're a little bit prone to the 3 ball. 36%, as a matter of fact, they're giving up in conference play. So, can Michi make a couple? Another 9K high usage guard. If they want any chance to win this one at all, he needs. Speaking about, I mentioned earlier, people putting on the cape and being Superman. Like, if the Gamecocks are going to win, it's because Michi put it on in this one on a Saturday for sure. The problem is, man, and we are way too we are much more familiar with this fact than we would like to admit. We know that Michi can fall on his face. We know he can absolutely wreck your lineup. I think he's probably good in this game environment, man. We know the downside, but if you're gonna spend up, this is another guy again in that 9K range. You got to have him in, mix him in. I'm not saying go crazy, but at worst, I would tag him as playable. Like if you want to spend up for him, he's definitely one of those guys you could do.
Yeah, I don't. It's just tough, right? Because I'm getting more of like a mid-tier feel, right? Until we get like some of these like real super values popping off. So it's just maybe 9K guard. And it's like, are you gonna play him? Or are you gonna play like all these other options that we just talked about? So yeah, I do like the game environment, not necessarily possession-wise, but it's gonna be a close game, and he's gonna play max minutes in a close game. So yeah, I don't hate it, but I just you look at everybody else, like Ellis popped off a little bit as a a high usage guard that comes off the bench for them. Things would be really good for them next year if he stays. But 4,500, like he's a decent salary saver, more of a floor salary saver, I would say. Try to say that 5 times fast. And everybody else, man, just like Knox, 6,300. Okay, this is the one that really excites you in a tournament, man. I think I will be going in with a little more Ellis than what I think right now. So, yeah, just kind of one of those slates, man. We need to obviously see what happens tomorrow as we record tonight.
You haven't really talked that confidently tonight about many guys in that low to mid 4K range. There just aren't a lot that just pop off and you're super confident about, right? So how are we going to find some value, especially if we are going to try to find a way to get more than one of those 9K type guards into your lineup? If you're trying to go, stars and scrubs approach is going to be very difficult on this one. You're going to have to go a little bit lower. I like Acuff. He's my favorite 9K guard on the slate. Who is your favorite 9K guard on the slate? Let us know in the live chat. Let us know in the comments. If you're watching in the morning with your bowl of fruity O's or whatever you're eating, or who knows, maybe you're just sitting down and you're on your back porch and the nice winter breeze blows across and the scent of lavender comes across the field and you say, man, I'm so thankful for one and done. And then it all comes full circle, like that's what it's about. So anyways, hop in the live chat and let us know, or the comment section, who your favorite 9K guard is. All right. Gonna fly through this one here like an Oregon Duck. 146 implied points. Let's start with the Oregon side here. Both teams in this one are super slow. Like, if you got a super slow game and you've got the blowout potential, dude, like you want me to pay 10K flat for Nate Biddle in this one? And with a 64-point implied team total, like, is he going to play even? Yeah. That's something that we have to pay attention to, right? He might be back, excuse me. And obviously our projections have him on a little bit of a minute restriction there because of his foot. Jackson Shellstad and Pryor, they're both still out. So can you go Nate Biddle, Mike?
No, there's no way. Cam thinks he's not playing. Some things I was seeing earlier in the night were saying that he's possibly back. They said he was out a month. He's at the 2-week mark, and he's actually been doing some things, and they say that potentially he's back. So if he's out, it actually doesn't change anything, to be honest with you, Jay.
Yeah.
Oregon side
at all.
It maybe changes one thing, and I'll jump into it if you don't mind here, Jay. You just can't play Nate Biddle. Regardless if Biddle's in or not, Kai Simpson is an option because he has the ball in his hands a ton, and he has to do everything for this team. The matchup's not going to, obviously project it, but he could score 15 real life points here because they need someone to score more than 8 points in this one. And he's a guy that can definitely do that just with his usage rate, his shot rate, right? Assist rate is there. It builds out, though. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot more. And I'd probably be not one of the first guys you click, but he's one of the guys that's in the cheaper realm that I'm like, I got to get to him because he's just going to take a lot of shots here. He's coming off 27, 14 fantasy points the game before, 28 and 23. Like at 5,600, you feel pretty good about that. I don't know that I'll really get to any of these other guys, man. It's just tough. They're kind of splitting minutes. Altman's just kind of divvying out minutes and just trying to get through the season. Every year they're just trying to get through the season, it feels like, with injuries.
Right?
So yeah. Just one of those things, man. I'm not a lot interested in the side, except if I would play Stimkins a lot more. If Biddle is out because the usage has to go somewhere.
It does sound like
we don't know about Biddle, so we'll see. I think he's closer to playing than he's not, but we'll see.
Either way, right? Like it doesn't necessarily change a ton, but if Biddle is out, got to definitely, and even if he's not, like Simpkins at that 5,600 price tag, something that we got to pay attention to for sure. Do you have anybody else before we move on, Mike? Like in that, I tell you what, we're going to get to our core in a minute. We're going to get the answer to my question. So I'm just going to move on to the Purdue side here. 82 implied points in this one of the best offenses in the country. Cam saying he's scared to play TKR since Painter, Painter's probably not, he's not that guy. Who was on the court in like a 40-point blowout last night?
Axel Lindenborg. Dude,
I didn't.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I don't think we have to worry about Painter doing that. I should say we don't have to worry about it. I would love to worry about TKR getting 34 minutes tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know that that's going to necessarily be the case. I want to talk about the best point guard in the country, Braden Smith, right now. Just a solid play at 9,800. I hate it when he gets in these blowouts, man. Like, they don't need him necessarily to be the 100% Braden Smith that you're going to get in like a tournament type of an atmosphere. It's hard to pay 9,800 when there's a ton of 9K guards that we like that are cheaper and are locked into huge roles in tighter games. This one could get out of hand, man, and then before you know it, if you get TKR, man, at 6,800. I love TKR as like a real life basketball player.
Yeah.
It's hard though, man. Like,
yeah, for tournaments for sure.
For tournaments, yeah, especially. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think for like he's gonna play 24 to 26, right? At 24 it becomes a little, but he's gonna get his little, 12 points, 14 points. He's gonna 5 or 6 rebounds if Clough's not just taking things away. I think he's just safe, right? Like 26, 30 fantasy points in the last two. He's probably gonna live in that area. But yeah, nothing really excites you. You're not playing 6K for Lawyer. We'll play Lawyer when he's 4,500 and he goes like absolutely nuclear like he did on that one slate. Yeah, Jay, tough to get to anybody here, man. Especially with Clough because they want to play Jacobson and develop him. So yeah, this whole game is kind of a cross off, except for maybe Simpkins and then Ren and TKR and Cash. So. Oddly enough, because if this game somehow stays close, then Braden Smith's going to have 500,000 fantasy points. But
it's a big time if, though, man. Like didn't they drop a hundy the other night? Like they're scoring a lot of points right now.
Cannot score. They don't have anybody that can score. Even if Biddle returns on one leg, like it's just going to be tough for him. They're just going to put Clough on him. It's just going to bang him around.
I mean, this is screaming like 97 to 67 type of a game. Like I can't get into it a ton. Like it's very difficult to spend on any of these guys. But like you said, man, Braden Smith, if there's somebody that could just break the mold, and especially in a close game, or I guess the mold of what is sort of expected in terms of like them not necessarily needing all of Braden Smith's talents to be dominant in this game. Get a little bit different, spend up for Braden Smith and find a way to get him into your lineup once and see how it goes. All right, good stuff. That's all the games. You did them all. And you made it through almost an hour into the show, and we definitely appreciate that. And you got, for the first time, the one and done projections live and loaded onto your screen. So let us know what you think about them. Let us know how you're going to apply them to your plays tomorrow. Again, these are things that we're working out, but these are things that we're using and things that we have been using for a while on our end, and we want to start sharing them with you. So make sure you push all those buttons. More and more stuff going to come out from One and Done as this season and following seasons roll on. You're going to want to be a part of it. We're heading to the moon, ladies and gents. Hop on the rocket ship.
We make it
or the Maldives, yeah, or the London. or
or the moon.
wherever. I travel to the moon quite often, but I'll take you with me, Mike, and we can go up there if you want. That'll be fun. All right. If you have training wheels on your bicycle, I'm your guy here with my core four. All right. Make sure you're in bubble wrap and you're ready to be safe for the cash core four, man. Darius Acuff is probably my favorite 9K spend up guard on the slate, either way, tournament or cash, but especially in cash games, man. Massive team total here and huge rates at 9,500. We talked about Mark Mitchell earlier, man. He gives you the multi-positional eligibility, as we like to in fantasy baseball, the starting pitcher as relief pitcher eligibility, the old SPARP. But in here, it's like the goof, right? The guard forward. Anyway, smash matchup for Mitchell. TKR here. Here's the deal. Cash games, the floor is there, man. Like, I don't want to pay $6,800 and expect him to all of a sudden be like a 5x guy at that total because it's just not who he is right now, right? Like, and not in this total, not in the game that's probably not going to be close. But if you're playing some double up stuff, you're playing some cash games, you got to like his floor. It's 20, 21, 22. Feel comfortable with that, right? I would feel comfortable with that if that's what I needed out of my lineup to put TKR in there. So cash games only for me on him. And then Trey Holloman, 5,200, going to play 27 to 29 minutes and an 82 team total here. A nice, safe, cheap option. All right. There's Jake Kearney hopping in. Good to see you. Glad you stuck around for sure, showing us some love in the middle of this core four here in the live chat. And Darren, always living on the edge here. Toaster plugged into the outlet. Is he going to drop it to Pop-Tarts? Is he going to start it? Bring the heat, Mike. We need the old we're chasing commas, man. Like, we know what we're doing here. And this is not necessarily one of those slates where we are going to be quick to jump at some of these spend ups. What are your thoughts on that? And what's your core four for tournaments?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things, man, where I'm looking more balanced in like taking a shot at like one value guy and then one guy and then like a guy in the 5K range, like a Holloman, right? Maybe a safer value, and then getting a 9K guy and just filling it out with 7K guys. So yeah, for tournaments, man, like I'm just looking for guys with 5X type ceilings or plus. Like Tucker Devery, 7,300, could easily get to 35 here, 80 team total at home. The matchup projects well per our matchup rates here. Trevon Brazil, 7,900, could definitely explode. Highest team total more than 83 for Arkansas. Definitely scary floor for both of those guys. Darren Williams, scary. The theme is scary floor, but high upside. Darren Williams at 7,600. I will say Vincent Wuchukwu can kind of be put in the same situation here. But yeah, Darren Williams at 7,600. And then as of right now, like kind of looking at him, like, man, who's like the cheapie that can kind of get me there? And I think Sebastian Aikens at 3,800. Doesn't feel great. You can also take shots at like some scary stuff like Pringle, Ballard. Those guys are just, the floors are crazy. Jakari White, if you ever played any minutes here. As it stands now, I would love to play Braden Carrington at 4,200. I would really like Rhodey to be out, but I still think it was I'm kind of mixing it up here, Jay. Aikens, Carrington, right? But Aikens because he's cheaper at 3,800. Winning the tilt, at least for the core four, as these guys you don't just play in every single lineup, but these are guys that are going to have some high upside and can win you a tournament. Like if Aikens goes 9 points, 2 boards, gets 3 assists, and gets a steal, like that's going to be good enough on this slate. So yeah, just kind of one of those deals, man, where injury news could absolutely change everything with the value player pool and open up some of these 9K guys that we want to get to, but even some of those 9K guys are kind of scary, man. So yeah, it's going to be a fun tournament slate, honestly. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
How about on that same Wake side, the Cooper Schweiger? He's spending 500 more there. 100%. I mean, somebody in that same price range that you could look at and try to not build around, but especially as you're looking to, or if you like to start your lineups with some lower price guys.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Trent Pierce is another guy at 4,900. I think he's in an interesting spot for Missouri, guard forward eligibility, and like every now and then he pops off for 25. I don't Cam. If Cam thinks Trent Pierce is gonna have a good game, Cam, please tell me, because every time you say Trent Pierce is interesting, he ends up going off. So please let me know, Cam. Is it time for Trent Pierce? I also think one more, Jay. Bryce Lindsey didn't really. He's not really doing much. That's an ugly game environment for Villanova. But if he ever made some shots, I wish he was 4,200. But yeah, Schweiger and Akins, you got to look at these guys, especially when they're starting.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want, I'm going to probably find a way to spend up for some of these guys more than I should. And I'm going to have to get to some of these lower price guys to make that work, right? So Mike gave us some really solid 7K guys to build our lineups around and tournaments for that core four. You're going to have to get crazy. This is not a straightforward slate, but we be different sometimes. Don't just play the guys that 40% of everybody else are going to play. Like, it's not always the best recipe, right? So, yeah, we know you like to live dangerously, Darren. Excellent stuff. I saw Josh asking in the chat if we have a website with projections. Maybe on the horizon, my friend. Could be on the old, I don't want to say the back burner, because that would sort of give the impression that we just threw it back there. But maybe there's something warming up behind that. Okay, for now, we're going to try to provide those projections to everybody on our live shows here. You might see some stuff on the Twitter account as we get closer, depending on how things change, if we get new news, and if any of those projections tweak a little bit and all of a sudden somebody's there in that 4,500 range that now it pops off because we know they're going to get 27 minutes or whatever it is. So make sure you follow us at One and Done CBB over there on X. Most importantly, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bells right here on YouTube. If you're watching on X, we appreciate that. But do us a favor, get over to YouTube and hit all those buttons. We would definitely appreciate you for showing us some love. Mike, another solid slate and another solid show here on One and Done. The tools are there, man.
Tourney, baby. One and done tourney.
Ooh, number 15, the Invitational. One and Done Invitational, number 15, a.k.a. the MC Holland 34 Invitational, right there above my head. Or wait, I'm going to stand like this like we had. I'm going to do the rest of the show like this because when we cut out earlier, I think it was over my head like early on in the thing. So I'm just kidding. It's all good. No, we're good. It's important that we have that up there because we want to fill that $5 One and Done Invitational up. So make sure you hit the buttons, hit that QR code right there, or go to that link right there on your screen that's in the live chat, and be a part of it. We're going to post a link on X as well. So at One and Done CBB is where you need to find us. So excellent, man. Let's get this comma tomorrow. A bunch of them. Why not?
Man.
I mean, I'm down. If you're down, you want to win some money, dude? Like, I think we should. I think we should win some money. All right. We'll do it. All right. One and Done Invitational. We got 5K to first. We got a lot going on over there on DraftKings, so make sure you hang out with us here on One and Done so you can get this bread. Awesome. All right. Time to go, man. I'm drained. Long day, long show. I'm dragging ass now. I made it an hour 7. But we made it.
We want to hear you spell your name.
What?
Love it, man.
Let's get out of here, broskies. Great job, Mike, as always. And I know I'll see you in those Twitter streets if anything pops up with updates, injuries, projections change. At MC Holland 34 on X. He is the OG Money Mike, Mr. Mike Holland, El Capitan around these parts. Shout out to Nate pushing the buttons. Shout out to Eric getting the studio ready. And shout out to you for hopping in the live chat and hanging out with us in the lobby. If you're chatting or not, we see you and we appreciate you no matter what. Tell somebody that you love them. Take care of yourselves, please. And until next time, my name is JAYATINRICH. Come again. We'll see you.